Hey everybody, Matt Dawkins here with Dawkins Media Company, and as you know, this month we're talking about engage and expand. We're talking about creating interactive social media content. Last week we talked about issuing challenges and getting your folks involved so that they're seeing results, but also so you're making some noise just outside of your current sphere of influence. Today, we're going to be talking about webinars. We're going to talk about the value of webinars. We're going to talk about who your audience is and can be. We're going to talk about how to promote it well, how to execute, and we're going to talk about how to follow up. And then we're also going to talk about my favorite platforms to do this with. So as you know, as you're watching this video, just so you know, you can go to dawkinsmedia.com and you can see tons and tons of free content that we put out there specifically marketing for chiropractors. So hope you'll take advantage of that. Feel free to, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe and let me know what you thought about this content, if it was helpful. If you have questions, you can ask them in the comments below. And don't forget to go check out the library. So let's talk about webinars. So first of all, what is a webinar? Well, a webinar is an opportunity for you, the chiropractor, the leader, the industry expert, the authority on the subject matter, to do two things with an audience. Number one, educate. It's an opportunity for you to inform, to educate people on the thing that you know a lot about. Now, I'm sure it's not hard for you to imagine that what you do and what you offer is helpful and can help people and can change lives, right? So it's worth taking the time to educate people on what it is so they can understand, because that's a key in them taking advantage of your product or your service, right? So number one, educate, right? We have an opportunity to educate all the folks that are going to watch. And the next thing we have an opportunity to do is to inspire, right? We always say marketing is strategic influence, and a marketer is one who inspires others to change, right? We don't want to just deliver a message of information. We want to give people an opportunity to make a change in their life that's actually going to help them, right? This is where the fulfilling part of our jobs come from. This is where the fulfilling work of a chiropractor comes into play, right? We have a chance to change people's lives, and webinars are a fantastic way to do that. So we get to do that with two different audiences as well, right? So not only are we getting to educate, inform, and inspire, we're getting to talk to two different groups of people. Number one, you have an opportunity to talk to the people that are already in the tribe, your current patients, the people that you're already working with. Because guess what? They've already said yes. Now they're coming back because they want to know more. They're coming back because they want to feel more a part of your practice and what you're doing. But they also know that you are the authority. You are the value provider when it comes to their health. And that if you're willing to impart more information, they're showing up because they want to learn more, right? So you get to empower insiders with information, because not only are they there to learn, if you do it right, you're sending them out as evangelists for your practice, right? So the more that you can equip them with the power of knowledge, the more opportunities they're going to have and create to tell their friends and family. So you get to empower insiders, and you get to engage outsiders. You better believe there are going to be people tuning into this webinar who are skeptics, who are cynics, some that are showing up to try to catch you saying something that they know isn't true. But you show up as the subject matter expert, as the authority in your industry and profession, and you share something that can really help them get healthier, that can really help them make a change, a positive change for their life. Then not only have you empowered your insiders, your current patients, you have engaged the outsiders, right? And we have a better chance of them walking through our door. So that's the goal of webinars. So when it comes to setting up a webinar, give yourself some time to promote. Use every channel of social media that you have: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, email, text messages with your CRMs. Make sure that you get the word out. If you've got a good person that you can partner with to bring in on this with you, maybe it's a sponsor for the webinar, maybe it's a sponsor for an upcoming workshop, maybe it's a sponsor who's willing to say, I'm congruent, I'm like-minded, I want to join you in this effort, right? Use their promotion channels as well. Get the word out. Have the date and the time set. Give yourself a month if you can to get the word out before you execute on this webinar, all right? Promotion is very, very important. And when it comes time to execute, All right, there's a couple things to keep in mind as well when you're executing on a webinar. Don't waste the first 5 seconds, right? A lot of people, when they go live on Facebook, they want to twiddle their thumbs, they want to look at their keyboard, they want to look at their watch, and their buying time. They're missing a huge opportunity. You be the subject matter expert, the authority in your industry and profession who sets the tone, right? You say it starts at 10, value should begin at 10. You say it starts at 2:30, don't wait till 2:31 to start delivering on what you promised. 3, 2, 1, go. Get it going and execute. And remember, you're there to empower insiders and engage outsiders. So make sure you keep them in mind. What in the world are you going to talk about in this webinar, right? You got a couple opportunities. Number one, hopefully you've had enough interactions with your current patients to know what's going on. What are the common themes, the pain points in your tribe, in your community, in your practice? What are people commonly suffering from? And you know what? It might extend beyond physical pain. It might fall in the category of emotional pain. It might fall in the category of a spiritual pain or some disconnect that you know you can speak on to solve problems. Maybe it's helping people understand the key to good relationships is communication, and you can use your practice and your interactions with your patients that you have relationships with and how you've seen their families interact and how you've seen them overcome objections within their family and fight over having different values, right? That you could talk about relationships and the key is communication, but tie that back to health, right? You could talk about nutrition. You could talk about the toxins and the foods that we're putting in our body that are causing damage and ultimately causing a stress that leads to disease or illness, right? You could talk about stretching. You could talk about New Year's resolutions. And I could list these on and on and on. But I want to pause there to say, talk about what's relevant inside of your community and in the surrounding areas. It needs to be something that's going to matter when you open your mouth, right? Finally, in execution, you're going to want to make sure that you give people action steps afterwards, right? Don't write off the action that you want to see people take when this webinar is wrapping up, right? Give them practical steps. Maybe that's when you issue that 30-day stretch challenge. Hey, we're all doing it together. We're going to put it out on social media. We're going to champion you along the way. We're going to have an award ceremony in 30 days. We're going to take this seriously, right? Maybe it's a nutrition challenge. Maybe it's an opportunity for a consultation. Maybe it's an opportunity for the current patients that are watching that webinar to give you 3 names of people who need that life-changing service that you provide that could change their friend's life, their family's life, right? Make sure you have clear action steps after this webinar, all right? So I promised you I was going to share my favorite platforms for issuing webinars. Number one, very clear, number one is Facebook. It provides an incredible opportunity for you to engage people where they already are. People live there, but you also have the ability to create an online virtual event, again, with a month notice that people can go ahead and RSVP to on Facebook, right? You have the ability to chat and interact with. You have the ability to send out polls and request feedback after the webinar. What did you learn? What are your big takeaways, right? And you also have the ability to save it on that platform so that people can come back and watch it anytime, right? The second piece, and this is for those that are out there that like to take this sort of content and cut it up and use it for social media going forward. The best platform out there, in my opinion, is Riverside.fm. Not only does it allow you to capture in quality content, you can invite an audience into that platform. You can link it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere, right? But it also does a lot of work for you in post-production, right? You can add your logo to the video. You can invite someone in. You can crop different speakers at different times into the same frame. You can create Instagram Reels for it. You can do a whole lot with it. But it's super helpful for anyone that wants to take that content and use it later in several different ways, right? So we use both platforms with my clients. We use Facebook Live. We love Facebook Live. We also use Riverside.fm. We use Zoom, which is a great platform as well. And we go YouTube Live. We go Instagram Live. We do all the fun things. But this is an exhaustive explanation of the opportunity, but of using webinars. But just to make sure I'm tying a bow on this thing, you have very few opportunities face to face to have an impact the way you can through a webinar. So take advantage. Even if it's just quarterly for now, every 3 months, have a relevant topic, promote the webinar, execute on it, make sure there are action steps to following up, and don't miss your opportunity to empower your current patients and engage prospective patients and change your community for the better. So we're talking about engage and expand. Got more for you next week. Hope you enjoyed this. If so, like the video, give us a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel because this content is going to be coming out weekly. Don't forget to check out dawkinsmedia.com for the full archive. Ton there. We'll see you on the next episode.